and we should be live. Go ahead, Mr. Wade.
Good night, good night to the Belizean people, both at home and abroad. Again, we are here once more by the grace of God, to bring it, bring to you the 106th edition, 106th edition of Belizean Affairs.
So,
We have come a long way, and I give thanks and praise to two good gentlemen that make this possible along with me. So give them thanks and praise. And you know, we can't do that without the Almighty, because without Him, nothing is possible. So on that note, as we always start our program with a prayer and a word.
amen.
And I go straight to Mr. Leonard Brackett to give us a prayer and the reading. Go ahead, Leonard.
Thank you very much, Mr. Wade, Mr. Chairman. My name is Leonard Brackett, and I'm glad to have the privilege to sit with Mr. Wade and my good cousin, Mr. Gregory Brackett, on this Belizean Affair show number 106, Wednesday, 21st of February, 2024. And I'll do the prayer, and then after I'll do a scripture reading. Divine loving Father, we thank thee for the privilege that thou allow us to come before thy presence once more. We pray that thou mayest continue to guide and protect and bless us, that thou would bless our family members, friends, and loved ones, wherever they are. Thou knowest them by name and number, thou knowest our heart, our desires, and even our most secret thoughts. We pray that as we present this program tonight, may we do so mindfully, but our effort and attempts are to try and do something that will accrue positive benefit, public benefit to our country and others. Please bless our country of Belize, its people and leadership. Please bless this country of the United States, its people and its leadership as well. And please continue to bless the rest of humanity. And please help us to navigate these treacherous times that we are living in, that we may be able to survive all these disasters that are not natural disasters as well as man-made disasters, loving Father. Please have mercy upon us all, we pray for Christ's sake. We pray these mercies. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Leonard. Can you
Thank
proceed with the scripture reading, my brother?
Yes, sir. I'll read Proverbs chapter 28, verse 1 and 2. The wicked flee when no man pursueth, but the righteous are bold as a lion. For the transgression of the land, many are the princes thereof. But by a man of understanding and knowledge, the state thereof shall be prolonged. And I do hope that those words play a significant role in the understanding of our leaders so that our state can be prolonged. Because we as Belizeans who are paying attention to what's happening in our country are aware that we are struggling on internal as well as external problems. We have the ICJ issue with the Guatemalans having a bogus claim on our territory and country and patrimony. We have the Mayans, some of the Mayans, I need to qualify when I say the Mayans because it's not all the people of that particular ethnicity. Some of the Mayans we have major problems with, especially the ones that come from across Guatemala highlands, the Quiche, who were kicked out of Guatemala and have found refuge with us. But then take it upon themselves to try and encourage our local Belizean Mayans to try and balkanize our country. In other words, they come with their warlike mindset and figure that we are a docile society in Belize, and what they couldn't achieve in Guatemala, they may be able to achieve in Belize. Even though there are some Belizean Mayans who are against it, but they want to ram it down the throat of all the Belizean Mayans and do what they're trying to do in the name of all the Belizean Mayans. And whichever Belizean Mayans don't want to cooperate with them, then they can just, leave the community and go find other places to go and subsist or live. It's a very treacherous process, and we also have, besides that, we have the Guatemalans entering our country in massive numbers, all for many decades now, and much more so now, being encouraged by the politicians themselves, including our Prime Minister, as we had him on tape, negotiating how many thousands of T-shirts he was going to provide and how many thousands of dollars he was going to provide so that they can start their campaign early in the morning, in his own words again. And then his celebration in his own district, his own division, of providing the people, working along with the people from the IOM, International Organization of Migrants, to bring in and overpopulate our country with unseemly numbers of migrants, to the point of changing the demography of our country in such massive way as they're currently doing, barefacedly, even contrary to the Constitution requirements. And we have people operating in our country as Trojan horses, all with the intent of trying to dispossess Belizeans of Belize from so many different angles. But I will not belabor the point right now because we'll probably get into it later on or maybe on some other program. But that is something that's seriously troubling me personally, on a personal level. It's not my show tonight. I'm just a panelist and a participant in the show. I'll need to defer back to our chairman, Mr. Roody Wade, for tonight. And since he had allowed me the privilege to do the reading, and I took the extra liberty without consent or request to elaborate just now. So I'll just like to ask for my forgiveness, Mr. Chairman, in having
Not a
violated
problem, Leonard. You
the
just,
rules,
like I say,
of committee.
we just
It's not
speak the
pressing on
things
me,
that that is before us. These are the things that is directly
Yes, sir, but
affecting,
I was supposed to bide my time, and I didn't,
So, but well said
and
there, Leonard.
I'd like
Thank
to
you, my
apologize
brother. And
publicly for struggling.
we want to welcome Mr. Gregory Brackett with us. I said he will show me. Welcome there,
Good night.
Greg. Just
Thank
introduce
you,
yourself.
Mr. Chairman, and good night to you and my cousin, my virtual host.
Good night, sir.
Always a pleasure sitting with you guys. You're highly appreciated, as well as the Belizean people at home and abroad. I, I really need them to look and see what is happening. Just looking at what the IOM is doing with our governor, and so long they have been waiting for them to fix the Seventh Amendment so they can have the right to participate in a general election. It's very annoying, and I would hope that they will put pressure on the government, not only when he wants to come with his hand out for donation, but the same pressure that the government is using with all its resources to make sure these people are adequately taken care of. It's the same way is to look after the populace, the people living in the diaspora, the people living at home. who is living in poverty, which also helps reasons with the health system not providing adequate medical attention. With that said, Mr. Chairman, I turn it back to you.
Thank you, Gregory. Thank you. And man, you know, these are pressing issues. And also, we want to touch a little tonight on the situation where this elected official, Mr. Henry Charles Usher, right? Henry Charles, he is employed at HRCU, he's an employee, right? And he's also reaping the taxpayers' money too. He's a sitting minister, PUP minister. So we'll talk about that. But
Uh,
Greg and Leonard,
Mr. Chairman,
mhm.
he's not just a PUP minister. He's a minister with massive portfolio undertakings. Those
Exactly.
portfolios that he have command of, he should not have no time to spare to dealing with no other extra job. Other than
We
maybe
will,
he's going to
yeah,
do that extra job on a weekend basis because his plate is full. And the needs
we
of the
will,
society and the needs of the country and trying to mess with the constitution and all the other things that he's delegated responsibility for under those portfolios that he have.
we we
He
will
should
talk
not be.
about that.
He should ask
Hmm.
the government to give him a little extra salary then if he
Sure.
really needs some extra money and give we the
Yes,
time where we need to serve we country. But thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, for allowing me
yes,
to interject that
yes.
very
Thank you,
important
Leonard.
point.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
man. Like we all, know Gregory and Leonard, and Belizean people, both at home and abroad. It's a repetitious cycle, and at this time of the year, we have election mode again.
Mm-hmm.
Election mode. Everything else that Gregory just mentioned, the healthcare system, everything, all the priorities and the needs of the people are put on hold, right? Put on hold because of electioneering in this country where the taxpayers' dollars, the taxpayers' assets are being used to facilitate this two-party system. Both of them do it. We
Mm-hmm.
pay, taxpayers pay the employees at the different government ministries, the town board, the city council, and all that. And they are the one doing the legwork for the politicians, right? Is that
Double dipping
fair?
again.
Is
Double
that
dipping
fair?
again.
That need to stop, right? So, we see, like I say, around the country, it's nomination day today. It's nothing strange. And we see the same repetitious cycle. Some employees are being threatened. If you don't go out there and put on a red shirt or a blue shirt, because you have UDP stronghold and you have PUP stronghold, right? If you don't go out there and put on a blue shirt or a red shirt, what's your job, right? And on election day, come March 6th, we have a list, our employees, and if we don't see you out there, right? If we not, that is what I'm telling you what is
Mm-hmm.
happening, right? And I know, and I shouldn't say because it's a repetitious cycle. The UDP do it, the PUP do it. So sad that how they have with poor people dependent and in a fair, dependent and in a
Mm-hmm.
fair to lose their jobs or to lose whatever little hands out, water bill, light bill, school fee, then they pay for them, right? Or little pantry or little thing. If you don't abide by their set of rules come election day, you are in trouble, right? So these are the things that is happening. And again, you see around the country, you see the massive putting up of signs, billboard, paper all over the place, and then a nail here and nail yonder and banners all over the place. And who you think they do it? Again, our employees that is being paid by taxpayers' dollars. And in the end, what will happen to those garbage? It will be taken down and take to the dump site. Repetitious cycle. Instead of these criminals put that money together, all those commercial and all those waste, and give it to a needy family, or put, if they don't have enough money for the CT scan, donate that part of that money, that waste, to purchase the CT scan or to finish build the wing or the area that they are going to put that CT scan. But no,
Priorities.
it's a repetitious
Priorities.
cycle, right? So they have with people program, right? And because I will talk about exactly what is happening now on the ground. Instead of them go to the house and say, well, like, we will lower the price of gasoline and this is the way we do it. Or instead of them go and say, well, like, these are the jobs that we are going to provide, or make, like I say, like Greg mentioned, the healthcare system better, or show that they will start to build the $90 million hospital that is had promised, I think, a year ago or 6 months ago. But no, these things not happen. But yet they have ads. They lash each other, right? Whether one may do, where me thief, where they pick garbage, where they pick up, and I tit for tat, because the two of them do the same crap, right? And they got us, the same zombie way, because so sad that the people and they right back behind them today after their nomination, their red shirt and them blue shirt, and when they go home, they go back to square one, right? Sad reality in this country, man. I just say this because the people need to be enlightened, man. We need to constantly say that where that put on, no way only the big up one party, big up one minister, big up Mr. This and Mr. Making get richer, make it continue feed the criminality, right? And continue to forget you. But you don't big up already. And the same thing when we do come March 6th. When I go vote after March 6th, whoever it turns out, like I say, I hope that in my municipality that want some change and support the independent slate, right? But after I go and support them, and if then party come out victorious, the next day vex to say, well, I would have, where I do again. Because now repetition, I hear it all the time. Mr. Weird, look where I do. Well, what can I say? You don't do it. Suffer the consequence for the next 5 years, right? But anyway, that's what's going on in our country, right? And like I say, in my municipality here in the Twin Town, if you want a change, you will have a change on that ballot, a change, and that will be the independent slate. Whether it's only the mayor or the or one councillor, but that will be the change, right? The PUP is not the change, and the UDP will not be the change. So, Greg, you could pass it over to you, so you could let us start on queue up the the items that we will talk about, and because that situation that the Prime Minister did up north, and we strongly against that, right?
Let's go to the first clip, Mr. Chairman, so the people at home and abroad can see.
You make of your chairman, Henry Charles Usher, is being accused of holding two jobs, one at HRCU, the other as cabinet minister, which is a violation of the National Assembly's Handbook Register of Interest, which states that members serving in the cabinet should not have any other employment.
I know no such thing. So, as far as I know, the chairman of the party, Minister Henry Charles Usher, works for the government of Belize.
What a hypocrite! That man is a hypocrite.
Mr. Chairman,
right?
Criminal.
Go ahead, Leonard.
He's not only contemptuous to us, the Belizean people, by lying to our face over and over and over. He's now becoming a criminal in terms of his behavior. Because when he's going to lie to us like that to say he don't know what the man have any other job other than the job where he have for the government, that's amounts to criminal contempt. He's not only contemptuous to us, but he's acting like a criminal, aiding and abetting criminal conduct, because he doesn't want to be proven that he, as the Prime Minister, have a bunch of crooks among whom he is operating, and they all cover each other's butt. Sorry for taking up that much of your time, Mr. Chairman. I know you want to give me a chance.
Greg, I want you to
up real.
I want you to elaborate on that, Greg, because you know what's going on.
There's a bunch of...
You know the laws of the country. You know what the Constitution says. You're very versed, right? And you know that they are wrong in what they're doing, and they do the wrong, and they get away with it because of power they have. Go ahead, Greg.
Mr. Chairman, to be honest with you, it's not the first time and it won't be the last time that ministers in this party is double dipping. And I will say it again, ministers in this party is double dipping. And it has happened with both parties. It happened when Mr. Vasquez was chairman at BTL and Social Security Board and somewhere else. When BTL needed funds from Social, he go over there, make sure they get the funds. You see what is happening. Look at the Minister of Education taking up also the Foreign Minister's position. So whenever we see this, we know what is going on, because it is only certain individuals that the Prime Minister takes to do double jobs, as you can well see. But Mr. Chairman, with that said, let me go back to you for a second, because when I come back after you go ahead and you speak about it, I want to prove to the people at home and abroad what is happening.
I want to get my shot too, Greg.
Go ahead, sir.
No, I'm waiting for you to finish, and then the chairman authorized me to make a...
Yes, I already turned it back to the chairman.
Thank you, Greg. Go ahead, Leonard. Go ahead, Leonard.
I'm really hot on my collar right now.
Go ahead, Leonard, because it's a total injustice, man. Disservice and injustice.
Just a second. Yeah, I just want to pull up something quickly.
And just to listen to the venom that comes out of that man's mouth, and you know the blink, he looks straight in the camera and say what he says. Like the man just don't give a damn, right? You know, damn. And you know damn well that it a lie. You know damn well that it a lie, right?
Okay, here we go. I'm putting together an essay, which I haven't completed. I read a part of it the other night on our last program. And having heard the Prime Minister in his own words again, as he regularly do, lie to the public, I want to read this over again. Okay. Belize government officials acting rogue, scofflaws, as a cabal of malignant, cancerous mafia gang covering for each other. Our Prime Minister just put those words in actions in the last piece of clipping that was shown. So neither he nor anybody else can step to me and tell me that I'm over speaking and or I'm maligning them for describing their malignant conduct. And they are acting as a cabal or gang, in a cancerous way to the well-being of our society and our country and the administration of our country. Because they are elected to govern the country with the powers that we vest in them, and they are taking those governance powers and turning it on its head. How can some people look at me and criticize me for pointing out what these guys are doing or for complaining about what they're doing to us, as if my complaint about their wrongdoing is worse and more egregious than the wrongdoing that we are complaining about? We're at fault for complaining. We should just take the bukut and shut up. Of course, we can't sit down. I'll finish reading the thing. The following commentary was made by Leonard Brackett based on his observation and experience and analysis and conclusions in respect of the matters referenced herein. These government officials acting rogue as scofflaws, as a cabal of malignant, cancerous mafia gang, in the dereliction of their sworn oath and duty and promise to govern our patrimony and country Belize within the constraints and boundaries of Belize Constitution for our security, safety, stability, and health and well-being and betterment, improvement, and development. Our preamble stipulates, as per the preamble of the Constitution of Belize, partial statements. The people of Belize require policies of state for which we elect members of parliament from amongst whom our government executives are entrusted with our governance powers to serve themselves. No, I deliberately use the word or the phrase themselves rather than what I had here, just tongue in cheek, because in effect, those powers are granted to them to serve us, not themselves. And so I just make sure I try to clarify that, because I know why not to bite my tongue, having it in cheek, no? But
thank you.
There's one little piece here that what did I do there just now? Did I? Stuff is active. I was. Oh man. I'll have to stop at that for right now, Mr. Chairman, because I think I messed up on something.
Yeah, thank you, Leonard. That is so right on that, because that's the way they are behaving, and that's their attitude. Past and present.
Yeah, okay.
Past and present government does the same thing. You see them in your neighborhood right now, running around doing quick fixes, patches, band-aid, and patch holes. Repetitious cycle. Wasting the taxpayers' dollars. Like, we don't know better. We don't know better, right? So, we call these things out, man, because it's been played out, man. It's been played out. Then the other issue where we wanted to talk about, Greg, is the IOM, right? That situation there in the north over the weekend, right? To facilitate to facilitate the people of Orange Walk and the newly immigrants, them that got regularized, no, and show
Yes, Mr.
the
Chairman.
preferential treatment that they got, right?
Yes, Mr.
So
Chairman. On Monday night during our show, when I was the chairman, I had the opportunity to discuss about Miss Jamie Usher and how the Women's Caucus for the UP tried to make it a gender issue. And I tried to point out how there are other females that they never stand behind. So before we go to that, I want all the people, ladies, who is going to vote in this election, take a look at this.
And while PUP supporters from across the country were out in full swing supporting their party, one member of the People's United Party who saw it best to stay away is the mayor of Belmopan, Her Worship Sharon Palacio. The mayor's infighting with her councillors and her party on a whole has been well documented. Today we asked the mayor why she didn't show her support on nomination day. Here is what she said.
I don't know how to answer that one. I think you don't go where you're not wanted nor appreciated. If I was wanted there, I would have been there. I'm the seated mayor, and all mayors got endorsed. And of course, they did me a favor, they did not endorse me. So I don't go where I'm not welcome. I wouldn't say it, no, not that I don't go where I'm not welcome. I don't think that I have any business to be there.
Hey, Denise here. Thanks for checking out our Facebook page. Be sure to click the like button if you'd like.
So
There
right
you go,
on that,
Mr. Chairman. Can I hear you on that?
that's to show you, the level of these people, guys, right?
Criminal contempt, Mr. Chairman. They're not
Once
just
you're not
contempt, criminal.
once you're
I'm
not
sorry.
with them, you're against them, right? So what they do when you are against them, right? And once jump up, as they say, get up, and once you are the person where they ask them why you they get up for, right? You bad. They don't want you. They want people in line with them. So when they say move, you move. That's that part of how they had handled me too. Because I don't never want too much of a, being like the mayor say, where you're not wanted or appreciated, right? But anyway, I see that a very disservice to her and a spit in the face, regardless if they don't like her or they want to get rid of her. The fact remains that when she got elected the last time, they were all shoving up behind her, right? They were all there with her. And she's still the mayor. She's still the mayor until March 6th, right?
Mhm.
She's still the sitting mayor. So that's just to show you. And it's so sad to see how Belmopan had how Belmopan end up, no? I mean, in terms of the demography and all what's going on there, it's so sad, right? And like I have said earlier in previous show, that I was once told that pretty soon we don't have to, they don't have to have the black people and vote for them, or the Creole, or the mestizos. I was told that, or the Garifuna, right? Because they will have others that will support them, right? I was told that, right? And I know they talk about rocket science, and you see it
I
playing out.
recall that to be words coming from Mr. Kowich.
Yes, sir.
God rest
Yes,
his
sir.
dead.
And
But
there
we're
is
not,
his
we're not
son.
maligning him because he's dead. We just
And that is his son, Pablo. I know that
Mhm.
young man there from Italy. Boy, they go to school, they run boat in the Belmopan there, right? Grew up in our PUP setting and thing, right? But anyway, hey, he got the endorsement and, they lobbied again for him and they got him. So they don't want Miss Palacio anymore. They don't need her anymore. And pretty soon that is what is going to happen over this entire country, right? So I got to say on that, guys, sad
Mr.
situation,
Chairman,
right?
if I may, everything that we had discussed on Belizean affairs has and is coming to pass. Every single thing we discussed, including cases that the government would lose because of the unconstitutionality. We have mentioned it time and times over, and there is no change. The government continues to make informal laws that are unconstitutional. Now, Mr. Chairman, we just had
Right.
a talk tonight about Henry Charles Usher, and the Prime Minister was asked about it. He was reluctant to answer.
As
But
normal.
for the people at home and abroad, let's hear it from Mr. Usher, because they always do what, gentlemen?
Tell
tell on
on
himself.
themselves. Tell on
He's a
themselves.
criminal.
Minister Henry Charles Usher is in flagrant breach of the National Assembly Handbook, which prohibits him, as a member of the House, from being employed elsewhere.
You're not collecting a salary at HRC.
I serve the people wherever I sit, whenever office. I have a political office, I have a ministerial office, I have a constituency that I work in, and I make sure that the people are represented, and I serve the people wherever I am. It's about serving the people and representing the people. And I sit in the House of Representatives because of the people of Fort George, and they are the people that I represent.
If you, as the Minister of Good Governance, are breaking the rules, how can you expect others to follow the rules? Shame on you, Henry, and the worthless PUP. On March the 6th, reject the PUP.
Now,
See
Mr.
that?
Chairman, what is he
Greg,
doing?
Greg,
What
Greg,
did the Prime Minister do?
Greg, before you ask the question,
Yes.
what you just showed there, and you had shown before, and we kept on talking about on this show, and we will continue to show on this show, is just validating exactly the words that I described a little earlier. They may have some harsh, but in effect, we have a cabal or a gang of cancerous people who has no regards or respect for our Constitution or themselves, much less to us. All we're doing is validating what we are saying, and that's why they can't sue yet. I don't wonder why they haven't sued us yet. But they know why. But anyhow, thank you very much, sir, for
Guys,
allowing me to interject.
guys, again,
Chairman,
Greg,
what
Please.
I was about to say, Mr. Chairman, they know, as my cousin says, what did you say about the good lawyer, Mr. Jewasawi? He did not know what,
know his assignment. His assignment.
but
He
within the
knew
party,
he knew the assignment. He knew the assignment, but they were not satisfied
With his
with
assignment.
what he gave. Okay, that's
but
all. They knew
within
his
the
assignment.
party, these guys know their
He's a
assignment,
criminal.
because two things happened. When Mr. Barrow, leader of the opposition, asked the Prime Minister and the House about the pay for the council, up to today he has not answered yet. And what Mr. Charles did,
You see,
the question. They know how to run away from the
Exactly.
question that is asked of
Exactly.
them. I turn it back to you, Mr. Chairman.
Exactly, Greg. You're so right on that. He's following the footsteps of his father and the leader, their leader now, right? The prime minister now. He's right in line with them. He's just one of the others that is right in line with with with, with these liars, right? The venom that comes out of their mouth, and they keep dodging the question. And like I say, with total no regards, like they don't have to say, they don't have to
Mr.
tell
Chairman,
you, right?
Mr. Chairman, I got tickled by a thought just now. You don't
Go
think we should
ahead,
ask?
Leonard. Go
You
ahead with your
don't think we
thought.
should ask our lawyer and commissioner of police to do his job for us because we the pay and if we serve or he's supposed to serve, right? And then
Yes.
use the gang laws and go after this bunch of gangs what we got in the cabinet and lock down all of them.
Greg,
But
Greg and Leonard, right? Like we always say, they are the gross violators. Gross violators, right?
for Constitution.
The only thing is that so sad that the others that violates it ends up in court and in jail.
Mm-hmm.
But these hyenas here violates, right? The powers that people entrusted, the people of this nation entrust them with that power to do right, to do right, to follow the laws, to follow the constitution, and lead the people righteously and be whole, right? But know what they do. And for the record, I don't want this nation to get any funny idea that we put these things out because we support UDP, right? Because these are they will think that way, say watch them, then I'm talking the
We
PUP
call
fanatics
a
will think
spade
that way.
a
But
spade, Mr.
no,
Chairman. We call a spade a spade. Whether
exactly.
PUP, UDP, or any kind of P
Right.
at all. So now that they mess around with we country, we will call them out.
Right. That's why
One
Greg
question.
and Leonard are stated as
Sorry,
for the record.
Yes, sir.
Right.
One statement before. Since our commissioner of police, to whom I made a request just now, indirectly, of course, I just pointed out, but since he is so hot to perform his duty as regard to that young man, with the other minister alleged that the young man cyberbully him, right? Why don't and then put out an APB for the young man all over the country? Why, Mr. Police Commissioner Williams, I'm calling his name because I'm not scared of none of them. I want to understand and know who I talk to and talk about when I talk. Why doesn't he put out an APB on each and every one of these derelict ministers or these criminal ministers that we have trying to hide behind free governments of here as if as under the guise of a government and committing criminal acts against the people? Where are the APBs on them? If he is so hot under his collar to do his job,
These
I
are
leave
the
that question
same
out there
guys.
standing. Somebody could answer it later on.
Mr. Chairman,
Go ahead.
if I may,
Greg. Go ahead, Greg.
my cousin, you are right. There is a cyberbullying law. They arrested Mr. Budna under that cyberbullying law. That is what you were speaking about. But I can also say,
It's a bogus
if
law, by the
they
way.
want to go by the cyberbullying law, when these quick stop, when people loses their job and can't pay, and they call these people by their phone and they send them text message and threaten that they will post their name and BBN, that is also cyberbullying. because
Mr. Chairman?
you are
Oh,
Hold on, Leonard.
blackmailing, you are blackmailing that individual in, I have to say, if you don't pay, I will post you. That is a form of cyber bullying. So I'm saying this up there tonight so the people at home and abroad can hear it, so that some lawsuits can start flying out to quick stop another entity that does that. Because that is also cyberbullying. Back to you,
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Greg. Go ahead, Leonard.
yes, sir. Thank you. This one here, on the same law, the cyberbullying law that they made, which we told them when they were trying to pass it, or that it was unconstitutional, but they went ahead and passed it anyhow, because they have the right to make laws, even though the laws are bogus. They put them on the books, and then if anybody gets caught up with it and they don't have the financial means to hire lawyers to work the process for them, then they get victimized. But I want to go directly to the Prime Minister again in this particular statement I want to make right here now about cyberbullying. Didn't he got on the airwaves and cyberbully the lawyer, the young lady that the gentleman from out Key had the problem with, in order to silence the young lady? The cyberbully the lady. Where is Mr. Chester Williams putting out his APB on these criminals, like I said just now? That is a specific instance. If the law was so correct and if the law was so valid. And why? Because first of all, you know, arrest the Prime Minister, or you know, put out no APB on the Prime Minister. We all know that to be a, you know, a reality. But the bottom line, even if you are get charged or investigated and then charged, he have the money for pay for a lawyer to get him off. You don't have to end up in a jail, spend no nights in a jail or days in a jail, the wait till the case get here. You know, get on bond and get released. But the process should be one and the same. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. We are all equal under the law, Section 6 of the Constitution of Belize. If they never know, they could go and read it for themselves.
Exactly.
So why isn't Mr. Chester Williams doing his job? Is my question again.
So
I made it a general question just now. I'm making it a specific question now as regards to the specific cyberbullying actions of our Prime Minister. And he is not the only one.
That's
a lot of them get on the TV and they cyberbully the general public, and in particular the young man them from the gang groups them in Belize, who under the Constitution have a right to belong to a gang, but they make one law saying that no, you don't have that right. Their law that they made is null and void because it's unconstitutional, regardless of how many of them got together and made it. And they know that. But when they want to bully the Southside people, well, I should have just come out and say the black people in Belize. When they want to bully the black people in Belize, they know how to go try to use the laws against them, because they know the people don't got no money to fight back. So apply the cyberbullying laws to them too, because no part of the law was made for us, who are flagging them but constantly about their wrongdoing. And because we did this on the airwaves, they would want to consider this as being part of that same process for cyberbullying purposes. But you can't cyberbully somebody who will commit crime just because you say then they commit crime. If they are committing crime, that's not cyberbullying. You're not bullying somebody that's doing a wrong. You bully somebody when you accuse them maliciously or wrongfully, or when you use your authority or your powers or your connections or whatever, right, to get the drop or the opportunity above the other person. So then you're considered a bully. But they're the main bullies, because they are the main violators of our Constitution, and then bully we the people with who you want powers. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman, if I may, my cousin, we are dealing with a head of police department who don't even know the law.
Exactly.
Because A lot of these youngsters
He's
from
a
the south
lawyer.
side and all over
Don't forget, he's a lawyer.
is being stopped. Is being stopped by the police under stop and search. And I would ask them 100 times, what law is stop and search? And when these young men refuse to stop, they end
They
up
get
with a
charged for
resisting. But how can you have a number two if you
without a
don't
number
have a
one.
primary?
Exactly. But that's how they play.
So they themselves don't know what they are doing, you know? And it keeps happening all the time. Look at the young lady the police had hit. She ended up with a resisting arrest when she had no what? No
Primary
previous
charge.
charge. You, as I
Because
said before, you do not have to stop and have no conversation with the police, and you have the right to run from them. The only time you cannot run is if they come up to you and touch you and say you are under arrest. But if
and
they
they
are
can only
doing
do
it,
that, and they can only
and
justifiably do that with due cause. They just cannot
right,
willy-nilly come up and just want to use
they
the
need
powers
to
vested
have
in them
that.
to victimize you as a person.
You do not have to help the police with their investigation. Serious. And they keep doing it as they did to Mr. Budna. They held him for nearly 48 before they come up with a bogus charge and put on a young man. And they were saying they wanted him. If they wanted him and he had a APD, they should have simply went to him and said, "You are under arrest, read him his rights, put the cuff on him and take him in." But to have him in custody, taking him from Belize all the way up to Orange Rock, they had nothing except illegal detainment. Then when they knew they were wrong, they come up with some bogus charge, you know? And people need to know when the police stop you and for whatever reason you listen to them before they tell you what crime you commit. Some of them like to say, get in, motion you to get in the vehicle. You do not have to get in until they read you a charge. Remember, you do not have to get in to
Uh,
no police vehicle until they say you are under arrest and you are charged with and they read you your rights.
but that is not how they operate, though, Greg. We got to
Thank you.
remember
Go ahead. Go ahead,
that
Leonard.
is not how these jackals and these vultures operate. Okay, they know they are violating the law, but because they class themselves as the lawman with the authority to arrest, they don't remember that the authority vested in them to arrest is based on legal classifications. It's not a willy-nilly thought that come to their mind and then will decide who they want to arrest, when they want to arrest, and if they have any reason or don't have any reason, and then I'll just beat you down in the ground because they then classify you as being resisting arrest when you don't want to obey them. That's the kind of nonsense that they go to. That's why so many cases get thrown out. But by the time the case gets thrown out in court, they already beat you down. They already inconvenience you carry the court. They already cause you have to get lawyer and spend money. You know, they put you through all these ringers, and they know they are doing a disservice and a violation of people's constitutional rights. They don't behave like that when they go arrest the prime minister, if they ever do, or any of the other ministers, or any other big wigs, or any other rich people in town. What's how and treated that young lady when we killed for his top police officer? Huh? You see, I mean, she like how and treat regular people in the country? Anyhow,
Anyway, thank you. You know, guys, you know, we see the gross violators of our laws, and we see their action, we see their attitude, you know, past and present. You know, it's a repetitious cycle. And to add it all up, who dare to take them to court, or who dare to hold them, in check, and who dare to, how dare we speak about these things when it's okay with them, right? So it's okay for them to do that, right? And it's okay for them to go in and get rich in any which way possible. It's all right for them to do that, right?
Mr. Chairman,
And
can I finish with this little piece? I think we never finished with it before when I'm going to get flustered, because I didn't want to disrespect the show by,
go ahead.
Because there are times when I have to fight myself and contain my emotions and my own personal,
Go ahead, Leonard.
and in the interest of not doing the wrong thing, I just had to just stop it there and get out of it, But I need to finish with it, sir. Thank you very much for the privilege. Which is why I call these guys these names. They have earned these names by virtue of their conduct. Belize government officials acting rogue, scofflaws, as a cabal of malignant, cancerous mafia gang in the dereliction of their sworn oath and duty and promise to govern our patrimony and country of Belize within the constitution and within the constraint and boundaries of the Constitution for security or safety or stability or health or well-being and betterment, improvement and development. As per the preamble, it says, the people of Belize require policies of state not to violate the Constitution and in favor of the migrants, while at the same time they're not providing any of those same services to the local born Belizeans, either at home and or abroad. But the people of Belize require policies of state for which we elect members of parliament, from amongst whom our government executives are entrusted with our governance powers to serve us. The Belize Constitution provisions enumerated citations, for example, under Section 2, subsection 1, reads as follows. The Constitution, that is, the Belize Constitution, is the supreme law of Belize, and if any other law which the House of Representatives makes is inconsistent with this Constitution, that other law which the House of Representatives makes shall, to the extent of the inconsistency, be void. You find that in Cap 4, Part 1, Section 2, Subsection 1 of the Constitution of Belize.
Thank you.
These gentlemen know as much, but they don't respect and have regards for our Constitution, which they sworn allegiance and fidelity to. And they violate it right, left, and center. They are the gross violators. As you say, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Leonard. Thank you for reading that, and so that they can't say we're making it up. No, that's why I like you always read and, what's there, for the record.
Yes,
but guys, back to that facilitating up north, these guys think they're smart, because the early uprising and the situation up north, they say, make we see how we could help and turn the attention from what's going on, make we offer one least service, right? That's exactly right. It's the mind game, right?
That's it right there.
So let's
election is close.
Yes. So make we try divert attention and provide an Easter, say, they getting free and this and that and all the goodies that we have up north, right? So I said it on the last time, guys, I would like for them to do it across the country, not only up north. I would like for them to do it in south side. Take some kind of program on the south side, right? Offer, same one they offer up north. Come up with some brilliant ideas for the south side.
The south side people, they don't have no money. They don't have no job, they don't have money. So they need some help.
For you to let us cue up that again, Greg, and let us show the Belizean
event we are having here in Orange Walk in the People's Stadium today.
Hi, good morning. I'm Diana Locke from IOM, and today IOM, in partnership with the government and Social Security and the foreign embassies, will be here offering identity, information, and integration. We're doing an integration hub. So basically, what that means, we're bringing all the services from government that leads to an identity document. We're also bringing Social Security on board with us. The Labor Department will be providing information on what job opportunities are available in this area. We also have the Embassy of Honduras here with us today. They have foreign nationals who had applied for birth certificates or for national IDs, and they will be distributing those to their nationals today. We also have photograph services in the event anybody needs a service and requires a photograph. We also have Social Security. They'll be providing appointments and assisting people in making their preparation for their documents, for their Social Security documents. The Nationality and Passport Department is here, and they have brought all of their services today. They have the passport. You can apply for a passport. I think they were doing appointments. So you can apply for a passport today. You can apply for a border crossing card. You can submit an application for permanent residence. You can submit an application for nationality, and in the three categories, both marriage, registration, and descent. And they're also, I think, providing nationality residence and passport services. So, and today we're actually having, for a very short, brief moment in this hub, the distribution of amnesty registration cards. We're supporting the department in returning those cards to the first set of applicants that have been approved, have paid, and the cards have been printed. So we'll be having a little ceremony from 10 to 11 in the back, just handing out those cards to people. Those persons, after getting their cards, will be able to go directly to Social Security and make appointments to actually and submit applications to obtain their Social Security card, which basically puts them in a very good position.
And
Greg and Leonard,
all the goodies.
let me just show this out real quickly. In one package, preparing them for the municipal election and for the election coming, next general election. They are being prepared.
But look what
preparing them, and what you need on coming those days to vote, you need to have an identity, right? So there you go.
But you also they get Social Security.
Greg,
you get Social Security, you get medical, you get lands, you get everything where the local Belizean people know they get.
Yeah, let me hear you, Greg. Let me hear you, Greg.
I'm in the background smiling while you saying that. Because it goes beyond that.
Crazy.
Why is all these facilitating happening? Because our government and our foreign minister is trying to help America from having these people do what? Cross their border. But look how it works. It's not that long. I hope people at home and abroad can recall what they did to the Jamaicans and the Haitians. Because now, if you listen to what all they are facilitating, border crossing card passport, you know what they are doing? Helping these people to help them win an election, and in return, border crossing card passport, you are facilitating them to still go where? Through the back to America.
Exactly.
The only difference
well said.
is there will not be in a caravan.
I know here, Greg. Also, the embassy of where is there? The from
Honduras.
which Honduras. And what they want? Birth paper and whatever idea. Right? Yeah, what they want, right? That
right.
To prepare them to travel, prepare them to vote, right? Two things: prepare them to travel and prepare them to vote, right? Go ahead, Leonard.
Sorry, just
but before you do, and I would love my cousin to.
I'm about to read a part of the Constitution.
Mr.
But
Chairman,
go ahead first, Greg. Finish, Greg.
When you mention Honduras, if you recall under national security, what our Constitution said about Guatemala. I believe
That's what I'm
that
about to read.
once Honduras was mentioned in the ICJ, right then and there, we should stop facilitate them because they fall in the category of Guatemala. Go ahead. Go ahead, Madam
Leonard.
President.
Constitution of Belize, Section 29, subsection 3. No person shall be entitled under the provisions of this part to be a citizen of Belize or be granted citizenship of Belize if such a person shows any allegiance to or is a citizen of a country, for example, Guatemala, which most of these migrants are coming from, including some of the Quiche Mayans, them, with whom we have the problem down south. A citizen of any country which does not recognize the independence, sovereignty, or territorial integrity of Belize. So why the hell is our Prime Minister, because it is his district that he is trying to feather with as much aliens as possible, violating our Constitution? It's because he's ignorant and he doesn't know, or because maybe he doesn't care and he doesn't want to know because it's not convenient to him. I beg to differ in all the above accounts that I mentioned, because as far as I know, he's been doing the same shenanigan for 30-odd years since he's been in politics. I've been traveling.
Not to mention, Leonard, let me cut you across the money that the U.S. is pumping into that cause, right? Not to mention that, right?
That's why I'm
public.
The government, the PM is lock salary. The foreign funds. The PF is subordinate to suborn for we governance and for we constitution and for we government the do things on behalf of foreign interests. Against all Belizean interests and against what the constitution stipulates, as I just read just now. And all the liars in the cabinet know that. The majority of them are liars. And Mr. Brichendo, like I said, have been doing this for the 30 years that he was in politics, and his father was doing it before he got into politics. Because I know
too.
I've been dealing with these guys for 50-odd years. I used to go to Orange Walk and Corozal, go campaign. I used to go to Cayo. I used to go to the Toledo. I used to go to Stan Creek. I used to deal with the Keys there.
Sad to see, man. Anyway, you know,
craziness and telling me nonsense.
It's so sad. It's so sad, guys.
I don't abide in craziness.
I'm so pleased to know that we can show, again, we can show and tell. For those who have eyes, let them see. For those who have ears and want to hear, let them hear. Right? Because a lot of us have ears, but we do not want to hear. Right? So sad. And this is the end result. Right? So I'm very pleased and happy that we could, show, right? Show what's really going on. And we continue to do it because it's directly affecting our people, man. Right? It's directly and say he who feels it knows it.
Mr. Chairman.
I wish that a lot of other people, speak out on these ills, man. Speak out, right? Because it's not right. It's totally wrong. Golly.
Mr. Chairman, right? I have a question. I have a question for your compadres then, from your hometown. Some of the Belize Mayans them and some of the Guatemalan Mayans them who are in favor of this balkanization process that they're undertaking, I have a question for them. Let's say, God forbid, that the ICJ should somehow or another come up with some miraculous ruling that the southern part of Belize belong to the Guatemalans them. Do you think the same Mayans them with the Guatemalans and chase out of Guatemala to take on the land over there? Now come again and chase them out of the land where the ICJ then would have been ruling that belongs to Guatemala. And where they are going again after that? Come further
You
north
know the answer
on
to
this
that,
possessed way
though.
again. No,
You know the
I'm being
answer to
facetious.
it.
Okay, it's not too far fetched, and I'm being facetious because I hope that that does not become the case. But I'm just trying to point out or show to what extreme things could turn out with the idiotic process that these people are trying to carry on down south. They don't want we BDF, we soldiers, we government, we civil servants, we employees. They don't want the local Belizeans, them that are not of Mayan ethnicity, be on those lands or be part or have anything to do with those lands, which include lands that are adjacent to we border, which means them that what the Guatemalans could step over the area that the Mayans will gain control of, and we, the Belizean central government, could have nothing to do with it because we can't go in there go stop the Guatemalans then from taking over, especially if the ICJ rule that the area then belongs to them. So where the Mayans then going then? When them here and a bit, the other Mayans from the other side, the Kiches then, we come over, come help them take over from we.
If I may, can I answer that
Go
for
ahead.
you this way?
That they will never stop fighting.
Right now, you see a powerful solidarity movement of Maya people because enough is enough. And we know that only the people can save the people. The government has not come on our lands, has not met with us. But the government knows that it needs us. The market in Punta Gorda, we supply the food for everybody in that town. You take our food, we take yours. You see us here now. We might be 3,000. The next time you see us, we're not going to be 3,000. We're going to double our numbers every time we come to you. We're going to double our numbers in Belmopan. We're going to double our numbers in Belize City. We're going to double our numbers. Because government, you have to know, Maya people are alive. And we are going to demand our...
Did you get to answer my question? It means that if the ICJ rule south is for Guatemala, they will just take over the rest of Belize. Do you hear it? But it's funny, and I'm joking, because you know what? What you said about the ICJ and the south, I feel indifferently, because it's happening slowly, not only in the south. When you have these people from the IOM talking about people from across the border, now imagine that needs to get Belizean stuff. If so be the case, how disrespectful is the government to the Mayan people? Because how come they are not down there trying to get birth papers and citizenship and giving them the same treatment that they are giving the people up in Arinjoa? They are not doing that.
They
But
will.
yet,
They will.
Mr. Chairman?
We have collaborated with the United Nations High Commission on Refugees. So along with them, along with IOM, International Organization on Migration, and collaborating with other entities, we have been assisting, and basically in the grassroots, we have gone to the last two villages that I went to. Was eye-opening to me. It was in the Toledo district. We went to a village called Blue Creek, and we went to another village called Santa Cruz. And it was eye-opening for me because they're like right on the border with Guatemala. So I was amazed to see, that we have persons, and the stories that we heard, people who have been here 25, 35 years, have X number of children, all of whom have been educated in Belize, have married.
A lot of that are made up stories.
Facilitating work, but
But it take them over a year and a half to give my daughter
None
a passport.
whatsoever.
Ban Belizean, okay? What kind of craziness we government and they go on with?
I just hope, guys, I just hope and pray that the Creole and the Garifuna and the East Indian, you know, the original
Make them stay there and continue sucking in thumb.
people, this little Belize, I just hope that they are, you know, opening their eyes. I hope they take away something from what we are talking about, showing. I hope so, because this is just the start. This is just the start, and they are publicly with it. They know they hide.
But Mr.
They're
Chairman,
the public to show you that they don't need the Garifuna. They don't only one time for vote. They don't need the Creole, and they sure don't need the East Indians. Guys,
Mr. Chairman,
they show it. Right.
These people are so barefaced that then they tell you right in our last clip where Greg played, who all then they conspire with. The international organizations outside of the boundaries of free country. Then they tell you who all then they conspire with to break free laws and free constitution, to subvert free governance powers that we invest in a free government to look after free affairs. That is the same thing I just read it just now.
You know, here are them guys.
Sir, one more sentence. But we got local Belizeans, both at home and abroad, who don't believe any of what we are saying, and would refuse to believe that what we are saying and showing them and quoting from the Constitution, because it's not the way they would think that it should be, and they don't think that then people would be so dastardly as to be so malicious to be doing this to us. There are a lot of people there in Belize sitting down and sucking their finger and refuse to accept the reality of what is it that we are faced with. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman,
you know, hear them.
Before you say that, just to rebuttal my cousin, but it comes back to what you were saying on the Constitution and the government. When did the government ever fly out to America and took passport and all that to the Belizean people in the diaspora? But they did that somewhere else, and you know what I'm talking
South America,
about.
then carry 1,000 passport, boxes and boxes of passport to 2 other countries in South America. And getting passport so they could travel to the rest of Latin America to come to Belize under the pretext that they are Belizeans.
Same thing, guys. I said earlier.
Some of them got diplomatic passport too, and they're not Belizean. They never seen Belize or know nothing about Belize.
I hope that the Creole and the Garifuna and the East Indians, they see what it happened, right? Guys, you know, we are living in, you know, in some serious times, you know, and
dangerous times.
It's so sad that, you know, here the song, who you gonna run to? When they come for you, that little theme, who you gonna run to? Right? We are being marginalized. You know, we are being used, turn and turn all the water out of our way and put out to dry. There's no more juice left in our way. Right? Because you hear the man say about the new identity. That's what they're looking at. New identity. So, you know, with that said, you know, it's always a pleasure, and we are winding down. Greg, you know, you want to take your 4 minutes?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, but you asked a question, who you going to run to? I would say to them to run to people like this.
My people and residents of the Twin Tongue, my name is Roody Wade. I will be contesting the upcoming municipal election again. I humbly ask you, the residents of the Twin Tongue, for your support once more. I am the only change. You have supported the United Democratic Party in the past. You have supported the People's United Party in the past. And you have seen the ills, for change. If you want that change, I am the only change that will be on that ballot. So come March 2024, please give me your support for real change. I am for people and nation.
Mr. Chairman,
Thank you.
I thank you for being an aspiring candidate, but I would like to also say this. I watched the nomination day, and I watched the red, I watched the blue, and I listened to the hypocrisy of people talking about who had the most crowd and who had the less crowd. But I would want to say this to them. Bringing out the crowd do not win election. Election is won on election day. You sometimes see mass crowds and people go to bed the night before election and remember what you did to them, and you know what happened? They vote you out. So I will say this to the people at home and abroad. Don't let having a huge crowd fool you, because election is won on election day. That is my closing for the night, sir.
Thank you so much, Greg. Thank you so much, Greg. Go ahead, Leonard. You have 4 minutes.
I'd like to start off my closing with a short little snippet by saying too many Belizeans are more interested in the well-being and protection of treasonous politicians and treacherous parties than they are interested in the well-being and protection of their patrimony, Belize. And I'll yield back the rest of the time for tonight, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Thank you, Leonard. Guys, like I always say, I'm pleased, I'm humbled to be in your company because of the knowledge and the truthfulness and the patriotism and the love of people, your people, and the love of your country, right? And I couldn't be in any other company, right? And the things you guys says and does comes from the heart, right? And like we always say on this program, we show and tell, right? And I want to thank all our viewers, all our supporters that support us, right? And see the good we do, right? And I always hope and pray on every one of our program that we impart and some kind of knowledge, right, to the Belizean people. Because guys, you and I know that we have a lot of us out here in Belize right now who are crying out for help, right? Who knows about the ills, who knows that things really bad, and just can't vocally come out and say what is wrong because of whatever reason, right? So they take the licking, they even go to bed hungry, right? It happens right in our country. And there you have the politicians and the people who we elect to protect and serve us publicly on the things we play and show and tell, the way they behave, right, towards us, right? And they, at the end of the day, what they always say, we love, they say, we love one man, we love with people, we love the country. And if that's the way you guys show love, when that day come, your final day of judgment, I just want to go and say the same thing before leave this sinful earth. That I'm in love with people and I'm in love with country. And anyway, see we kind of lashing will all take before leave this sinful earth because of unjust and the evil things you do to your very own people, right? And I'm talking truth. You cannot like what I say. It's a matter for you, to each his own. But you all will take whipping for the lies and the evil that you do right here before you leave this sinful earth. So, like I say, it hurts me to see the condition my country is in, right? And I call, through this medium, I've been calling on independent. When I say the word independent, in all form of independency, right? That does not suck anything from these two political system where we have two-party system, right? Put on name up, because then owe them nothing, right? Like myself, I put my name up as an independent candidate because I owe these suckers nothing, right? And I will continue to do it. And I hope and pray that when I'm no longer here, that somebody pick up the cause, and eventually this two evil party system we have controlling us will no longer be, right? And go ahead, Leonard.
Could you spare a minute or a minute and a half, Mr. Chairman? I just want to read on part of something else.
I could give you
just a minute or maybe. Yeah. Okay, I won't be long. Because I realized that you was on your closing, let me go ahead then. I'm going to read a short article here it's just 2 paragraphs basically. It was written by a young lady by the name of Miss Aria Lightfoot. She went on to say, the voters list in the Benke increased by a whopping 14%. Likely with the infusion of Guatemalans living across the border by pop council's own admission on a morning show, they have a significant amount of voters living in Melchor. So once again, the born Belizeans living in the US and abroad are denied access to voting, but the party is facilitating Guatemalan voters. This is a slap in the face of the laws and constitution of Belize. But another example where the rule of law continues to be flaunted in the face of us all because of those who should act as guardians of the country. They lack the moral and ethical fortitude to just do their jobs. It's very sad.
No, Mr. Chairman,
Thank you. Thank you.
I want to call her out, and I need to call her out because she's the one who sits on a third farm platform that is contributing to the PCC when I specifically said you should put that power into the 7th Amendment, not helping
Exactly.
the government
Exactly.
to try to
Right
turn
on
this
that.
country into a republic.
Exactly. Right on that. And to close off, I call on the so-called third party in this country. Stop being compromised. Every time a third party pops up, they have been compromised by either the UDP or the PUP. They either sell out to the UDP or they sell out to the PUP, right? So stop using that word that you are a opposition and you are a third party when you are not, right? You are facilitators, right? Be true to yourself and do the right thing. If you're so-called not in line with a People's United Party or a UDP or a third party, well, show that. Speak out on issues which you are so dormant. On that note, and also I call on the media houses quickly, to show some little love to the independent thinkers and the independent candidates, because we're not friendly to the independent candidates, okay? Serious talking. And that's how we talk about support and support all, which lie. We only support the UDP and the PUP party. One
Mr.
or
Chairman,
two media house
Mr. Chairman,
support independent party, but the rest do not support the
about your
independent
appearance
party.
tomorrow, about your
Thank you.
appearance tomorrow, you have something to say about that to the public?
I would like to say through this medium, through our Belizean Affairs on show number 106, I will be on Rise and Shine tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock. So please tune in and hear what I got to say, me and my counselor, right? Please tune in and watch, right?
Well said, Mr. Chairman.
I thank Plus TV to facilitate the independent candidate. Give thanks and praise to him.
Well said, Mr. Chairman. Thank you. And thanks to all who tune into our show. And to those who text in, if we did not respond, we would like to say we really appreciate you guys tuning in and listening to us. And just maybe, by what we are doing here, trying to educate and bring what is happening in the country, every time we are on this platform, it might make a difference. With that said, we would like to say good night.
Good night.